welcome to Mecha from Japan. My name is Musashi, and I'm joined once again with the co-host of Mecha from Japan, Anastasia.
Hi.
Hello, young lady.
What's up?
So I had a customer come in the store and said, why have you guys not podcasted in a while?
My fault. My bad.
It kind of actually is.
It is my
I wouldn't
bad.
normally just throw that on you, but it's, we could say Christmas. Store is crazy busy. We had a raffle.
Yeah.
Mecha from Japan is recorded in the Gundam for Japan store in Tampa, Florida. So welcome to everybody who's either comes in to see us or may come in the future by virtue of watching the podcast. Somebody who does watch our podcast came in here and asked, and that's nice that not only people watching, but they want more content.
Yes.
But we do have Christmas and other excuses, but we put it on it's you. Why is it you? Because it is you. Tell me what happened.
I went to Costa Rica and New York and Virginia and Maryland. I went to a lot of places. I was not a world traveler, but I went to a lot of different places.
Yeah, like you're just like, well, I went to 8,000 exotic locations while you stayed in the Gundam store.
You had such a great time.
Well, of course,
Christmas.
because we know each other, obviously, well. Therefore, I know what you did in Costa Rica. And there was monkey playing. Or would you like to recover just briefly any little highlights of things of the whole, where you've been, what you've been doing, anything you want to tell anybody?
We did not get attacked by monkeys, which he was worried about. I did watch my family feed monkeys, which was more worrying. But the locals were like, oh, it's fine. They like coconuts and stuff. And I was like, I'm staying on the boat.
Well, that is, as I told you at the time, the same as feeding seagulls at the beach on Clearwater Beach. It's a no tourists that come to Tampa.
I was just sitting on the boat. I had no association with those people. I don't know them.
I've never seen a monkey running around loose that close by, not even at all, but at a zoo. And then we have some wild monkeys in Florida that escaped from some zooey thing or something 50 years ago, and they've multiplied. And I think they're in Rainbow River or one of those places where you take a kayak.
Yeah.
There's some monkeys you can see in Florida, like loose. But I've never been there.
They're just around.
Okay. So your trip aside, tonight's topic is the gigantically hyped Gundam card game and the board game that will theoretically accompany it. I'm still confused about that. Card game though, primarily, right?
Yeah, it's hard to explain. It is a card game. It has no tie-ins with the tabletop. However, for the tabletop, you can use the cards for something. I think it's maybe just a representation of things. We don't have that much clear things on the tabletop yet, but there's circulations of something that involving the cards as well.
Well, here's what we do know. I've already pre-ordered a bunch of it. So this isn't just, hey, because it is, hey, we run a Gundam store and we want to sell people stuff, including, of course, the hottest, greatest thing seemingly ever, which this card game is just blown up from attention.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the new Gundam show, the
G-Quacks. Yeah, G-Crux or G-Quacks.
One of our other customers in here, and he was showing me there's been some more images released, the Char suit and so forth. I'm actually really excited for it. See, people really seem to be too. But the card game is because...
Yeah.
Did you ever play the One Piece one?
It's always been exclusive.
It's so hard to get the stuff, right?
Yeah.
So when I say I've ordered it, our podcast is really about, it isn't a commercial for Gundam for Japan about what we're going to do here, but because Gundam Japan is our life in large ways, if we're excited about it, it's like, there's the business angle to it, but this is just 100%. I really want to play it. So, of course, knowing you're this hot thing that you can then sell and make fun.
Yeah.
But why the store is fun and why people come here and do buy from us is it's interactive, it's fun, but we've never played much in here.
No.
And so on Saturdays, we're thinking of turning this card game or turning the store on a Saturday into a place where you could build the kits as always, but also to really play this game. Like all the way. That's my thinking.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about it, but I think for the first time in 10 years of Gundam for Japan's existence, we have a game to play. I don't know if there's even been a game other than video games.
No, just Pokemon.
Right, but nothing Gundam related.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm really excited because the cards look amazing. We actually have a screenshot of some of the cards here. They have been exclusive to date, but obviously you're going to be able to build decks. Now, you like Witch and Mercury. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the card art? Does these things make you...
They're so pretty. I have a completionist problem, like a major one. I
love this one.
It's so cute. Does she have a
heart?
Yeah,
and I'm a completionist problem too. Do we have any other? Is there any other? I haven't actually looked at these.
The aerials there, I believe. Oh wait, they're so tiny. I do appreciate the Hayato dying card. I wish that were true.
Well, I like this one because, people grew up on this. Hero Yui's what people grew up on. I think what people are excited for is they're going to be able to build decks around the shows that they like. There's no doubt going to be themes. You've also got these pilot cards, so that you can have your favorite characters.
Yeah.
I don't even need to know how the game plays other than the wispy information I've bothered to tune into to know the cards look amazing.
Oh, they're so pretty.
I've seen the cards physically. Someone got the beta deck through and a nice customer. We put it on Instagram, on Gundam for Japan on Instagram. We have a reel up where the backs of the cards are very nice as well. And they're important because a lot of times in card games, the back side is turned over.
Yeah.
So you do see the back of the card a lot. There are official dice for it. So what I've ordered, so I actually got to learn a reasonable amount about this whole thing based on what I was able to order. There's 2 starter boxes. And this isn't, official, I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what I ordered. So it must be able to come.
Yeah.
There's 2 starter boxes. One has the miniatures in it and one doesn't. So I predominantly pre-ordered ones with the miniatures.
Yeah.
Because while that may not directly, we don't know how it's going to interact with the board game, since we paint Warcry and some 40K stuff here on Sundays, then miniature painting goes on in the store on a Sunday through the Warcry skirmish game we do. So that kind of fits too. But also, a lot of people, even if they're not going to paint the miniatures, just want the little dude.
They're just cute. They're little guys. And far superior to the runners on Warcry, as we've seen, which is terrifying. Like, absolutely terrifying. Actually, orderly Bandai runners.
Well, yeah. I mean, so Bandai, if they're really going to get into that game, it'll be quite interesting to see where it goes and if it goes anywhere. We're hoping that the board game that will go, somewhere, because I actually really like to play the board game almost more than the card game. I'm not by my nature a card game player.
It's more physical. You can actually see what you're doing, and there's some representation of it.
Well, I think for me, I don't play card games because there's the meta decks and then there's the anti-meta decks, and everything else is like you're playing with your kid brother and you just don't care at all.
Yeah.
Problem is, I'm not an 8-year-old, so I do care. I don't want to get sucked into the meta, so I would typically be an anti-meta deck person. But I just always want to focus on fun above all else for the store and for myself personally. And card decks, they generate sales by busting packs to get those special cards to be able to make your theoretical deck work. Most card games have avoided being able to make them fun, but I've heard One Piece card game is about as fun as you can get without worrying about the fact that you're going to spend zillions of dollars to get the deck or the decks that are in the meta.
Hopefully they've been learning from their past card games to kind of build up to the Gundam one. Probably just learning from the past and mechanics and everything.
I keep comparing to the One Piece one because that's the one they have control of, and it's all been so well received. That's why they're so hard to get. Not because people just want to collect One Piece cards, but because apparently the game's really fun. I know they learned one thing. So in ordering, I also learned the starters are coming 2 weeks before the boosters.
Oh.
I am not there's whole hobby stores that do these, that are into the whole inside baseball of the way all the distribution works, and they're selling individual cards and all that stuff. We just want to play the card game, sell the boosters and the stuff, and have fun. Sell the stuff, but not upset. We're not going into the card game business.
No.
We're going into the Gundam card game, playing the game in here, and that's why I really hope it's fun. But the 2-week period, according to somebody I talked to, already shows them that they're smart. They're going to get you to play the game, which is what the starter decks do, get you to play the game and enjoy the game before you become booster pack busting single card scalpers or whatever. That's a bad word.
It's healthier for the hobby.
Healthier, that's right. And I don't need to be a card expert to know that sounds smart. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of hope for it. The new show for Gundam's coming out.
So excited.
This card game really does, the card game does look really pretty. We only have this one thing here, but this is a smattering of the cards. Like any card game, there's going to be hundreds of these things.
Are you gonna make a Xeon deck?
Well, I'd make a turn A deck first.
Do you think they're gonna have a bunch of turn A cards?
Well, I think that's how they get us to buy more boosters.
I hope.
Right, or that's how they do more additions. Like One Piece, it's not just been one thing. They keep making new additions. Because otherwise it's like a one and done thing, and no one would do that. One, for sales, but also I think players that really into something, they want the next thing that comes out, right? And Gundam is such a deep, rich franchise. I know through the distributorships, through the normal hobby industry part of it, that everyone is thinking this is going to be the next big thing. Giant property with a game mechanical system that may be based on something that's already successful, the mechanics of the game. I mean, we don't know if any of this is true. Have you heard anything more than I've heard about just through sheer ordering this stuff?
Nothing that we haven't gone over besides everybody that is so excited. I think are the starter decks G, Witch, and Wing and OG? Are those the 4 like?
They did announce sort of what the start of it is. They even have names for it. And when I was ordering it, it's got a name for the, like, what's the Pokemon? What's the more recent one? Like Scarlet and Violet and stuff like that.
Question.
This thing has names like every other card game.
Yeah.
What's interesting, too, is while there's some pitfalls and some things people don't like about a number of card games, people still play Yu-Gi-Oh! I know you'll get a whole lot of stuff when you start talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! But Pokemon still played very, very actively. Mm-hmm. Magic is still played. I mean, this is not like they've gone away. They sort of ebb and flow in terms of which one's hot or whatever. But at least so far, the ones we have an example that Bandai might be involved in seem to do what we all most of us want, which is to focus on a fun game experience. Yeah. And then collectors get to still collect the cards. You're a completionist. They're going to love you.
This is going to be so bad.
I kind of am too, and I'm going to really try to stay off of that because I am like that. And we did it with some Common Rider cards.
Yep, guilty.
And then you're like, but then what do I do with these things? Now,
you can't play with them.
My problem is if I sort of collect them all, I would maybe collect them all. But, when I was building Pokemon decks, you need 3 of this card and 2 of that card. What if I wind up and I want Harry Ord? So I would want Harry Ord, but what if I need 3 here? I don't know how the game works, but what if I need 3 of them and I got to bust open $6,000 of decks? Now you say, we go to some other card shop and buy a single or whatever. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I want to open some stuff, create a deck. I'll open up a fair amount of stuff. I mean, I'll spend money on it. Like I want people to buy stuff in the store. Yeah. But I'm not going to go down that. Don't
go down. Don't
picking out individual cards at some card store that sells individual cards.
No. Not worth it. Don't do it.
Well, but we didn't do that with Common Rider. We busted packs, and we were happy and excited for the rares or the hollow rares or whatever we got.
I had no idea what the difference was. It just looked pretty.
Well, it wasn't even for the game. It was interactive with the toys,
which we didn't do. Because we wanted to protect the card because we liked the card more than everything else.
You and I get along because we share some core things. I mean, obviously just Gundam and hobby and nerd stuff, but you and I are both completionists.
It's so bad.
So you got to be careful about which toe, don't put your toe in the water because then the shark will drag you in.
That's why I haven't engaged with Iron-Blooded Orphans high grades. I know it's a dangerous game.
Yeah, because they re-released a bunch of high. I just think these look really cool. Like I say, there's wings, so we can almost tell what's coming. We got OG or whatever. I think, let's talk about the depth of the card game. What do you think about the fact that, this longevity of it could be quite good? Every time they come up with a new show, at a minimum, there's a couple of boosters. So the cards come out typically, every quarter? 3 or 4 months?
3 or 4 months, I'd say. Yeah.
So Gundam, if they follow even close to that pattern, if you were going to run a Gundam card game, wouldn't you just sort of figure out how many mobile suits and pilots go into a deck and then multiply out what we already have after 50 years? Wouldn't that be years and years before you'd run out of stuff?
Yeah, no, it's exactly 45 years as it lists last year, right? 45 years of Gundam shows that there's so many. It's endless.
I think you could have 3 from IBO. I mean, you could. Yeah. You could. I mean,
there's just so much, and then there's the mangas. There's a lot. There's a lot of Gundam. The games.
Where thinks this is the next big thing because the depth of where they can take it, of existing stuff. Now this G-Quacks thing.
Yeah. I just hope. I hope they go all the way with it. That is what I'm searching for pretty much with Bandai right now.
I'm happy to be back podcasting. It wasn't like we sat down tonight where, because we knew we were talking about the card game we didn't really know much about. So talking about what we don't know for half an hour doesn't make much sense. But I guess
nobody really knows.
It was really to communicate that I'm really excited for it, for the business, but also for me personally to play. I like playing games. We're playing Warcry in here on Sundays with my friend Jeff, and you too. You have Skaven. So, we don't play a lot of that kind of thing, but, being Gundam for Japan is like a Gundam game for the first time. I like card games. Yeah. I don't just don't go down the silly rabbit hole. So for me, it's like it's a super invigorating thing that it could be something good for the hobby, good for the business, but good for me personally to connect a lot of this stuff. Yeah. Because of that, though, I'm more hopeful for the board game a little bit than the card game.
Yeah. There's just more to it, more to chew on.
But I think it's putting a little too much hopes on. We've seen it's got like a hex movement system, but I know board games and tabletop games really well. That's a lot of what my childhood was, Avalon Hill games and so forth. So that, I'd have pretty high expectations of that, where the card game, there's such established way. You already know what you're going to get to some degree. So the big question mark, I think I'm keep my expectations low about the board game, so I'm not disappointed in that. But we did buy more, significantly more for the store, pre-ordered the ones with miniatures.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure that's the right business decision to make, but it also would really be great if the miniatures are really cool because you need them in the other game or something.
I get to be bright-eyed because I don't have experience as card games or tabletop or anything of the sort, so it's all new and fun to me.
Well, part of the reason, like when we play Warcry, you're playing against somebody, but we always make sure that it's the fun factor above all else.
Yeah.
Right? And so that sounds like, well, why would you? Well, no, it's about fighting with each other. But I mean, because if you take everything too seriously, but there's always, I'm playing against you, there's a winner and there's a loser. So there's a bit of an aggression to just playing those kind of things. You could say the same thing about chess or whatever, any game where there's a winner and a loser. Card games don't, because it's with Pokemon especially, they feel, it's Pokemon. They're so cute.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel aggressive to me. I don't feel like I'm beating you.
No.
It is a little bit of deck management more than, we're not playing against each other as humans.
You have to be
almost.
semi-strategic about it.
Yeah, but we're not really beating you. It's my deck and my ability to play my deck.
I'm going to throw Pokemon and Quaxley and Sobble at you, and it's going to wreck you, and you're going to be done, and I win, and I'm so happy about winning. No.
Well, I brought it up because I don't want to do like aggressive gaming with you. No. I mean, I wouldn't anyway because we're not that. That's not our relationship. But some games sort of lend you down that path, and I don't think this card game, like One Piece was, everyone's saying, yeah, it's cutthroat. I mean, no one's saying that, but I think I could play the card game if the board game doesn't turn out great, especially with you. If it's just fun and we're like, we would have fun designing a new deck that you hadn't seen that was way more about the theme of it than even whether it was effective.
So many jokes can be made.
That's it.
So many jokes.
I hadn't thought about that. We could make joke decks. Mm-hmm. And if you know Gundam really well, which we do, we could really do inside baseball joke decks.
I'm very excited for it.
Well, it's not just to play the game. What I'm excited for the store is we are planning on, we're just going to assume this thing is going to be amazing. Leagues or some way the Bandai, you can make your store an official something or another. I'll look into all that, but we will do it independently no matter what. I plan on going all the way with let's play this game. Board game hopefully too, but the card game, because we've never played, we've had a few customers come in here and play card games. I don't really care if they do, but it's not what we do in here.
No.
So I'm really looking forward to having like Saturday be like card gaming day / Gundam gaming. I just think it fits our store and my interests really, really well.
It's way more focused.
It is one of the most exciting things that's happened since we've been running Gundam for Japan for 10 years. I think because of that now brings every card game player as not just a prospective customer, but someone that could come enjoy the store and have a reason to interact with us in sort of the world that we live in. Maybe they don't know Gundam or care about it much. They just know it's the next big thing.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people played the One Piece card game and hadn't watched much, 1,000 episodes. It scares people off, right?
I mean, if you're so into One Piece that you're playing the card game, maybe.
Probably watched it.
I don't know. That's a good because it's so hard to get them. I can't imagine non-One Piece players.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
It's a couple of angles that we're approaching it from. Us, it'll always be have fun with it. I just think the card game for sure is going to work.
Oh, I mean, people build the kits without ever watching the shows.
That's right. I think it's going to be huge and fun, good for the business and good for our Gundam souls. I just can't see how this fails out.
They need to feed us. We've been starving.
Well, we got the G Quacks. What else are you excited for in the Gundam from Japan world?
G Quacks is the next big thing, of course. Card game, of course. I don't know, the real grade Akatsuki.
I'm
excited about that.
Master Grade Bidar is not too many months away.
Oh yeah.
People could be asking me when the G Quaxy model's coming. It's late February, something like that.
March. Or March.
Is it?
Marchy.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the models and the stuff that's coming in. We got a couple new gachapons. So the gachapons are behind you on the wall there. So we have a couple new ones going to be here in a day or two. You know what I'm really excited for, though?
What are you really excited for?
Sock cam.
Oh, that's a good lead-in.
There we go. That's a good lead-in. Yes.
Look how boring these are. Whoa.
They are boring. Please tell me there's more to that than that.
There is more to it.
It's got to be more to that than that.
And they're perfect. Let's see if I can get it on
Perfect
the camera.
cell?
Yeah, it's perfect cell.
Perfect cell. Look at me know he's some Dragon Ball.
I'm so proud of you. Here, let's see if I can actually get it.
I almost said Digimon. I almost busted myself. Perfect. Those are. Did you just get these? Where'd you get these?
Well, basically, it was $3 or $5 for 3 socks. So my friends all have these socks, and they're all matching.
Is the other one Perfect Cell too?
It is also Perfect Cell.
All right, so you don't need to take the other shoe off.
No, I don't.
All right. Well, sock cam is always very fun for everybody.
They're perfect.
When we talk about, because Jeff and I are going to do a Warcry podcast called Little Naked Men.
Oh, yeah.
We get lots of laughs about that, and because if you haven't painted your miniatures, they're naked.
Yeah.
Don't go dirty. And but already he's like talking about we need a sock cam. I mean, I think when anyone talks about podcasting in here, everyone invariably says sock cam needs to be in the
sock cam.
We wanted it to become I wanted to become a thing, and it turns out it is a kind of a fun, jokey thing to do.
It's just fun.
And your socks are really cute. I actually am, probably like the audience, I'm actually pretty interested which one's going to be displayed.
I have no shortage of them. I got more over Christmas.
On your footsie. We had a customer that very nicely comes in here and gives you socks.
I'm always so excited.
What is she, 12, 13, 14-year-old girl comes gives you socks?
I think so.
But a young girl comes in here and she's giving you socks on the regular now.
Super sweet.
Yeah. So it's been fun. Anastasia, it was really just a, hey, we're back. You're back. Let's get back to podcast. Get some talkie on the airwaves.
Yep.
And also, I think just the simple communicated message. This thing looks amazing.
We're so excited.
Actually, the whole year looks amazing. The kits look good. This new show looks good.
It's been a good year.
Hathaway maybe come out. Come on.
Please.
Something about Australia.
Give us something. I know they're filming it.
Maybe a new IBO show.
The Wild Hunt or something.
Yeah, Urdu Hunt thing.
Urdu Hunt. I'm thinking of Witcher, apparently.
That was those manga. Anyway, we kept thinking Calamity War was going to come out for Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Oh, I think that is.
Maybe. Well, we keep released. They released the Hajmal. We kept thinking there were going to be some new IBO show because they just went blappo with all the re-releases of IBO.
And Vidar.
Yeah, right. And then also a Master Grade Vidar. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do a whole year. The other big thing, the last thing I'm waiting from Bandai to put out, a new Perfect Grade.
Oh, God.
It's been a while.
It's been 4 years. It's been 5 years.
It's been almost 5 years because the last one was
2020.
Which kit?
PGU.
Unleashed. Yes.
Unleashed.
They've gone this long many times in 45 years of doing this. Our PG's been around since almost the whole time, actually. But this is one of the longest stretches. And if it goes on too much longer, it will be the longest stretch of that one. Do you think it's because the Unleashed is such a set a new standard that the next one has to be an Unleashed? I would assume so.
I think they're just... I honestly think they were just so focused on the board game. I think their engineers have been elsewhere.
Our podcast might explain it. We're talking about how huge this thing is going to be, and we're all excited about it. And then, but we're like, "Where's my PG?" I mean,
where's my Perfect Grade?
There's only so much they can do.
Yeah.
And maybe they also know, hey, maybe they've already got one design waiting to go, and they're going to kick it out at a time that buys them more time.
Because the real Great Akatsuki isn't even a new frame. Like they haven't been. I don't know. Vidar is just. I don't know.
Well, I didn't even, this is here all the time. I didn't bring it on for the podcast, but that is the MGSD Barbados, and I bring it up because we have the MGSD Wing Zero Custom just came out.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of really cool stuff has come out recently, and of course, Bandai is always very good about the hype train is always real because the new stuff is it just breaks new ground. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just, we never know what's going on in terms of. Is it they're waiting for the technological breakthrough to execute something that's going to wow us, an unleashed version of something that they're having to work out the kinks, and so there's been a delay? Or is it because they're working on the card game? I mean, nobody knows. It's Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in Shizuoka, so nobody ever knows. But even with that sort of lamentation about the unknowns of the things we're mentioning that we'd like to have produced for us to purchase, the card game alone is a massive game-shifting event in the Gundam community.
Give me a PGU Zaku, please.
What do you want it to do? Just in mono eye does 8,000 colors? What do you want to do?
Oh, that would be fun. I want any Xeon Perfect Grade. Give me a Xeon Perfect Grade, please.
They would never do this, but I would like Solari, Zaku, and PG. It's because
that would be cool.
It's not my favorite one, but it would be. But they never do stuff like, look, it's the latest and greatest. Here you go.
Yeah.
When they're on 5-year print cycles, I mean, goodness, it could be a Quacks PG. Well, they never made a Barbados PG,
which is crazy.
Think of how few PGs there are and how many suits they could make. The odds of them making the latest and greatest things about zero. They have no pattern of doing that either.
No. When did Freedom come out?
2014.
And Seed came out in 2000, right?
Well, you're right. Your point is probably that 8, 9, 10 years goes by.
It takes a while. I don't know.
True.
And they love Seed. They love Seed.
They love Seed, and we have a good number of Seed PGs, but it's not like, that's a good point. They don't just come out a year after the show comes out.
Never.
The PGs come out years after the show. So we could even still get a Barbados.
I hope.
It's been 8.5 years.
We're almost there. We're almost to the 10-year cycle.
Young lady, I really, really, really enjoy podcasting with you. We're back at it. Next time we'll talk about something we do know more about, maybe.
I hope.
It'd be hard to be more hyped, though. I'm pretty hyped for the game, for the Pokemon.
Our knowledge level will go up, and our pure, unadulterated excitement will be about here.
Well, maybe the next podcast about this topic will be when we're actually playing the cards. Now, it doesn't come out till July, so
it's going to be a while.
It's going to be a while.
And more info soon,
So
please.
we'll be podcasting something besides the cards. It's always good to see you, Anastasia. Anything last little words you'd like to give? Any bits of wisdom? Anything nice you'd like to say to me randomly?
I like your outfit.
Thank you.
Yeah, is that good?
That is nice because you never say anything you don't mean, so I know you mean it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I love your Perfect Cell socks.
Thank you.
And I see you in the next one.
Bye.
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 Bye.